Welcome back to the channel, guys. Tonight I'm going to go over the new monster that's coming out tomorrow, Henrich, the guy who looks like a phone. And I thought I'd share with you that as easy as it was supposed to be having my 3 runes ready to flip, I didn't log on at midnight and I didn't get my top 5k. I finished in the loser's bracket. I did have my 3rd flip sitting and waiting. I just didn't log in to collect it. It's my own fault, but it seems like I've been doing that a lot recently. The next event is feeding. I will definitely feed for the 20 gems. That's it. I'm not going to go any higher than that. I will farm the food to feed as soon as this is active in 11 hours. By then I'll have more gold, and I'll just spend all the gold on food. I'm trying to keep my breeders empty, and I'm not going to hatch anything else until after the event. I'm going to try and breed as many of those little Henriches as I can. Synapsis is one of the fail breeds, so I'd like to get a couple of him. I think he could be pretty good, especially if you like pass turn to him with Linnoworm. I don't own a Max Thasla or anything close. But I did, somebody showed me a video from Armor Gaming's channel where Corruptus takes 3 turns in a row when he uses the Consume move, which is very interesting to me because I only need a handful more cells to rank this guy. But the skill that they're talking about is this 110 one here. Supposedly it says it gives 1 extra turn, but it actually gives 3 extra turns. If that's the case, I actually only need, let's see, where is he? Yeah, I only need 85 more cells, and then I could rank him to 110 and get that move, and I could pair him with Linnoworm, and I'd have a really cool team. But, yeah, who knows if that happens. I still need to save tons and tons of Forsaken Souls, and unless they make them available for gems somehow, I don't know how I'll pull it off. And if I can pull it off, so can hold almost all the games. So, yeah, I don't really get my hopes up for that. The maze, I have collected some coins since the last time. I still don't think it's going to be enough to get, but maybe a handful of cells for Linnoworm, not even enough to rank 1 him. And I have this now down to 79, and I've spent 50 already. So if we bought it right now, we'd be at 129 gems spent on it. So it was definitely cheaper than your average like Mythic Tales event, but I'm gonna buy it no matter what. I just trying to get it for as cheap as I can, and to avoid missing it, I'll probably wait till the last half hour and just buy it then, instead of taking chances for it to come down to the wire. Seems more in my favor not to do that. I don't want to miss out on it. It's gonna be for my team. Alright, so the new monster Henrich. I do not like the way he looks at all. I think he looks really dumb. I think he kind of looks almost like if somebody turned Mario into a cell phone. But I do love his trait. He is a denier. At rank 0 he gets, I guess, hardened, and at rank 1 tough. But I'm looking for the rank 3. I don't know how many of them I'm going to get from Frat event, but it really doesn't matter. If I don't get any of them from Frat event, I'm breeding this guy, and then I'm ranking him to rank 3 myself. I will be trying to rank 3 the whole book page, so it will save me a lot of dust if my frat, or if I do get him from frat events, the more cells will save me dust. But anyway, first off, when he was first released, I remember people saying like, oh, he's so squishy, he's got a low life, like, alright, well, anyway, I've been playing with Siamis, and she's on my main team at the moment, and her life is lower than this guy's life, so to me that's completely irrelevant what his health stat is. It looks high as hell to me, if you're coming off of older monsters. We already went over his traits, and then his relics are the worst part about him, in my opinion. Second to his looks. So between his looks and his relics, that's really what's bad about him. And I'm not thinking that his relics are the worst. They're not good. Like, that's stamina drain. That's what that is. Like, he's going to have enough stamina drain on him to where if anybody hits him, they won't have any stamina left afterwards. His basic attacks, the 0 cooldown ones, is deals moderate thunder damage to one enemy and applies shock to one enemy. The other one is deals low thunder damage to all enemies, applies daze to all enemies. I'm not sure if I'll be running either of those because what I've come to realize is zero cooldown moves are most important when you're not hiding behind a taunt, or a mega taunt, that is. So the fact that I will be running him with Bombetta and Tabora, I don't think I'm going to be using either of his zero CDA moves on that team. But they are two good zero CDA moves. Not as good as like Solar Flare zero CDA moves, but they're still good zero CDA moves. Alright, so his next moves. Deals moderate fire damage to one enemy, applies burn and daze to one enemy, requires cooldown. That's kind of mediocre to me. It's just an accuracy thing with a torture, but I mean, hey, it's fire. Deals low thunder damage to all enemies, applies shock to all enemies. That one's also not really, that's mediocre to me. I'm not saying I don't end up running any of the skills that I've named so far, I'm just saying so far they're not impressive. Alright, so deals moderate water damage to one enemy, applies freeze twice to one enemy, requires cooldown. I will run that. That's a single deny move that is also good against the hardens and tough traits. Yeah, just basically the fact that you get to use it twice. Somebody like that comes to mind is Vanos, being able to freeze Vanos, and just in case one would have missed, the second one doesn't. Like, that would be really cool. And then the other one is called Yes, deals moderate special damage to one enemy, activates all cooldowns on one enemy. Definitely running that. That will come in handy versus Grakens or Wormlads, like, big time. So he's got two moves so far that I really like. And then applies burn to one enemy, applies shock and freeze to one enemy, requires cooldown. That's a good move, but at the same time, I don't know, I kind of like the double freeze better. I get that shock stops extra turns, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it gets ran, maybe it doesn't. I guess since we don't have very many other good moves, because there's only one left, deals low special damage to all enemies, activates all cooldowns on all enemies, requires cooldown. I would say automatically two best moves are the CDA ones. So I run the single CDA, the AoE CDA, and then I run the double freeze and I run the shock and freeze, and that's my monster. The negative effect of replacing Siamus with him is I won't have that purr that Siamus has, which has been becoming relevant in fights, especially after you use up the purr on Tabora and then they cast something that needs purred away. It's definitely handy to have Siamus come through with a second purr. But honestly, I think the speed jump from going from Siamus to him is going to make up for it big time. Like, my Siamus is wearing 3 level 8 runes, and she's only rank 3. This guy at rank 3 with 3 level 8 runes would probably be like 3,000 speed faster than her, would be my guess, which would be a dramatic difference in PvP. And along from PvP, I will also use him in the Gauntlet. I will run him most likely in the Gauntlet, switching out Bombetta with Ignis. Or maybe switching him out with Bombetta, meaning I run like Tabora and him and Ignis, and then just whenever I can't take a hit, I switch somebody out for Bombetta, and see if maybe I can start getting to at least node 43 in the Gauntlet. Right now I still do 21 through 28 for 70 dust a day, but in order for me to leave those nodes and go somewhere else and profit, I would have to get from node 40 to 43 every day to make 90 amber. Or not amber, I mean stardust. So that's really the goal. I figured I'd go over this monster since I am going to be adding him to my team, and that he's coming out tomorrow. So those of you watching this video who might have thought, oh, he's not that good, or oh, I'm not going to try to get him, I think you really should. I think that Artifact on a Denier is one of the best traits you could ask for. Like, that means your Denier can't be stopped. Like, I get it, there's trait disable, but trait disable is not enough. That means they have to trait disable plus deny you or attack you or blind you, or they have to trait disable plus something to really stop this monster from doing what his job is, which is to deny. And if they trait disable you or do something to you, your traps could technically take away their stamina. Most of the traps only trigger if your health is under 50, but there's a new trap coming out, the Rotten Trap, which triggers if your life is above 50. I'm not really sure what it does either, so you guys would have to like look that one up. But anyway, that's the new monster. I will be trying to stream the end of PvP It ends in 5 hours and 24 minutes. So in 5 hours, probably 3 hours and a half from the time this video goes up, you guys should be able to look forward to me putting a stream up where I try to finish the PvP season. I will be using that Omelet app that I used last stream. I'll be trying to earn some points on it so that I can qualify for different rewards on it and whatnot. And that's basically all that's going on. My defense is still the same. Everything is still the same as the last time I rushed or did PvP on camera. So yeah, as you guys can see, this is what I'm trying to change off of my team. And if we look at her, that speed is super low, guys, 13,680, and that health is not very high at all. At rank 3, it's only 106k. Rank 3, Henrich has over 130k health, so it's going to be a big difference. Plus her traits, she's got precision, which is cool, but he's also immune to blind, and he's also immune to all of these things, so yeah, so he's definitely going to be a huge upgrade for me. Like I said, I think the only thing I'll really be losing is relics and a purr, and then having to look at something dumber. Um, but anyway, guys, thanks to everyone who's been watching the channel. That's it for tonight. Later.